Okay, I just thought this was interesting here. Concerning the wall, it's set to cut through a butterfly sanctuary. It says construction on a 6-mile stretch of a steel and concrete wall along the Texas-Mexico border is expected to begin at the end of this month. But conservationists are urgently battling the government in court before it's too late for the National Butterfly Center, a private piece of property owned by the North American Butterfly Association that could slice a wall through its grounds. 17-year-old center sits on 100 acres just south of Mission, Texas, a city with the Rio Grande River at its back and an hour north of the state's southern tip. Before it was purchased, it was an onion farm. And in the years since, the center has been revegetating the land with native and endangered plants that serve as nectar source for butterflies. It has some of the highest concentrations of butterflies in the U.S. in both volume and number of species. The iconic migrating monarch is just one of them. Thanks to the valley's geography, it contains 11 different ecological regions and has a large variety of flowering plants. With those plants come the different types of butterflies that evolved with them. Each species is intimately tied to one or two plant species. If their host plant disappears, they disappear. This is something that's really, really important because you know what they do. They pollinate them, and the bees pollinates, the flowers and our food sources and stuff. It says the butterflies will disappear with the wall's construction is what worries this person and other conservationists. In many regions along the border, the wall will not sit at the exact line dividing the U.S. and Mexico. In many cases, as with the center, it will be constructed a mile or two north of the border. Many federal and state parks could be divided. Federal nature reserves offer a path of least resistance for the government because it already owns the land. Of course. There you go with that as well. They can do whatever they want with this land that they've bought up over the years. Though experts think it's unlikely the state's right-leaning governor would take such an action. Well, yeah. Yeah. To seize private property like that owned by the National Butterfly Center, the Department of Homeland Security can exercise eminent domain. Y'all know what that means. It allows the government to take private property in the name of providing a public good, such as security. They'll still have to pay them, but what are we losing here? Butterflies. It's very important to our ecosystem. In October 2018, the Center for Biological Diversity and Defenders of Wildlife filed a lawsuit against DHS to stop border wall construction, citing violations against laws like the Endangered Species Act. The National Butterfly Center earlier this week, where was I? They attempted to buy more time by filing a restraining order against DHS and continue the wall. Sorry if I repeat myself. It's difficult to predict the center's outcome, and that depends on the judge who takes the case and Trump's administration's next move. The center has yet to receive a court date, and the fractured land could impact wildlife. It was on the Super Bowl Sunday, February 3rd, that she began seeing construction equipment drive through the center's property, though she had seen surveyors on the land over the past year. The inland placement of the border wall would cut right through it. Under eminent domain, they're only allowed to take as much land as they plan to devote to public use. What happens is you take the land in the middle, and on both sides you have land the Butterfly Center will still own. We're going to have a gate with an electronic keypad, which will allow them to access the two halves of the property if the wall is built. They won't be the only ones. Neighbors, including a Catholic church, RV park, private homes, will also have access to a gate. As a matter of policy, CBP does not comment on pending litigation, of course. Lack of comment should not be construed as agreement or stipulation with any of the allegations. In DHS's Homeland Security mission, our trained law enforcement professionals adhere to the department's mission. Blah, blah, you know all that. If you eliminate a habitat, you eliminate breeding and feeding areas for butterflies, or for any animal or insect. They're important pollinators that, like bees, help flora grow and flourish. It's a common misconception that they'll simply be able to fly over the wall. Many species only fly as high as 6 feet in the air. Floodlight used around the wall at night would also disorient them and other animals. Texas' most southern tip is considered biologically rich with animals like ocelots that can't be found anywhere else in the U.S. Conservationists worry that habitat fractured further by new walls could interfere with animal migrations and inhibit their ability to find food and mates. It's like a string of pearls along the Rio Grande River. Some of the nation's most fantastic creatures live here. Something to think about there, people that wants the wall there. Not only is it keeping us in, from going, you know what I'm saying. Y'all know the thing with immigration, the more illegal immigrants are the ones that overstay their visas. That's been proven. And the gangs and all that other stuff, they're already here. I mean, just look at most politicians and lawmakers and things, you know, they're the... Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Anyway, just something to think about there. Save the butterflies.